Hi, how are you? My name is Heather with Duncan House Creative, and today I'm going to teach you a tutorial on this wonderful, beautiful alcohol ink landscape. This is one of my favorite projects to do. It always turns out different, so make sure you're not judging my work with your work. Okay, yours is going to look completely different than mine, but I am going to teach you the technique that I used to get to this final project. Now, here's one that I did, and here's another that I did. So as you can see, both of them look a little bit different. Okay, we're working with fluid art today. I love fluid arts, but fluid arts, it's in control. You're not. You are just really going with the flow of where the ink goes, okay? So you have to really release a lot of that control, which is difficult for us, but it's also a great exercise for you and for me, because I don't know about you, but I like to be in control. So this is great practice for me to just release and really allow myself to move with something instead of just really trying to make it work. Okay, I'm gonna go over these materials with you, and then we'll jump into the tutorial. Okay, you're gonna need isopropyl alcohol right here. I have some in here. This is 99% isopropyl alcohol. If you bought one of our art kits and your alcohol is not coming out, you might have to take a little pin and push the top there, just so you know. I am working today with my green. This is lime green from Piñata ink, and then a Baja Blue from Piñata ink today too. I have a straw. I have a piece of YUPO paper. Let me show you the pad here in case you ever want to restock on your own. This is the brand that I suggest. It's called Legion YUPO paper. You can buy it in heavy stock or medium stock. I think the one that is included with our art kit is a medium stock, okay? This just happens to be a heavy stock. This is synthetic paper, so it is not like regular paper where regular paper absorbs ink. This does not. The ink floats around onto the paper, and when it dries, it really evaporates, getting a different texture to your final piece, okay? So it is important to note that we are doing this on YUPO paper, and you cannot repeat this with regular copy paper or cardstock or watercolor paper. I will say you can do a lot of really cool things with alcohol ink on ceramic tiles, or I've seen people use ceramic mugs from like the Dollar Tree, or even glass. You can do some really cool alcohol ink stuff on glass. Around Christmas time, you could do a ceramic bulb for like Christmas ornaments or something if you really find that you like this medium, okay? There's lots of things you can look up online. Okay, let's jump into our tutorial, okay? Okay, I am putting down a table covering here. You got one of these table coverings in your box, but any plastic table covering will work. I have even been known to use trash bags. Trash bags are great, especially those like large black yard bags. Great table coverings if you're ever doing a lot of art. I'm also putting down paper towels. You don't have to have paper towels, but I think it's pretty, it's necessary for this project. I also want to remind you that we have these printed tutorials that we put in your boxes for the month. If you really want a more detailed step-by-step explanation of what we're doing, it's all right here for you. I did have to cut these down a bit, so I'm sorry if any of your words were cut off, because I realized they were just like a half an inch too wide for our boxes, but we'll remedy that next month. So you might even want to have this handy so that as I'm doing the tutorial, you can look back on this and see which step we're on, okay? I'm gonna have this over here so I can be referring to it also. And please feel free to pause this at any time. If you feel like I am going too fast, just pause it and catch up and then push play. I have done this activity several times. This is probably your first time, so please do not judge your work against my work or my time against your time, okay? This is all about the process, not the product. And the great thing about water or about alcohol ink is you can really reactivate those inks over and over again with alcohol. So, you know, it's not like we're writing with Sharpie marker and once it's on the paper, it's done. You can really move your ink around over and over again. So don't give up, okay? And we always, there at the beginning, well, really at the middle of our piece, we think, oh, this looks horrible. What am I doing? This is going to turn out horrible. Do not give energy to those thoughts, okay? Finish the whole thing with me. And then you can judge accordingly. I also tell people when they take my art classes, I bet if you come back in like 2 or 3 days and look at your work, you'll think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I made that. So sometimes just a little time apart from your work is good too, okay? So don't criticize yourself. This is all about the process. This is about being creative. This is not about, you know, making the most perfect thing. Okay, let's jump in. We're going to take our blue ink, okay, and I took the lid off my blue ink here, and we are going to just do kind of a line across the top third or fourth of our paper. So make sure the camera's got me here. I'm going to take this and I'm just going to put a line of ink across my paper like this. Now this one is a little bit more messy, and I have said this before, but alcohol ink stains, so you want to make sure that you're wearing appropriate clothing, your table is covered, etc. Now I'm going to take my alcohol and I'm just going to squirt it on there. And I'm just going to take my paper and move it around and let that ink just flow on the paper. And you guys, it looks just like a sky. So cool. Every time I do this, I'm amazed. You might want to blow. Now, also remember, alcohol is highly flammable. You want to make sure this is not done over an open flame. You want to make sure maybe you have a window cracked. And don't breathe in the fumes, just blow out, okay? Ah, gorgeous. Man, if I could just leave it like this, I would. It's so pretty. I'm gonna let that dry pretty good. It does not take long for it to dry. Here you can see my work here. It does not take long for it to dry because that high proof alcohol, it evaporates really quickly. Okay. Ah, it's just gorgeous. And we live in DC, and I don't get to see these beautiful big open skies here like I'm seeing in my painting. So it kind of makes me long for the wide open spaces. Oh, I'm sure some of you live where the sky is big and beautiful. It is beautiful here too, but just in a different way, right? So, okay, now I'm going to take my green and I'm just going to do the same thing. And I've noticed here that my sky is dipping down, and I might actually go with that, you know? I might, okay, maybe I'm gonna have a hill that dips down. I don't know. Again, don't judge your work according to mine, just kind of go with the flow of it. So I'm gonna do that line of green, and then I'm going to come in and do this. And I'm just gonna let this flow. Okay, so I have my first little grassy knoll, and I'm gonna come over here and just kind of build another one. And then I'm going to put some alcohol down, and I'm just gonna let that the same exact, I'm gonna pick it up, just let it flow. Oh my goodness, guys, this is looking so good. I'm gonna take my straw. Oh, okay, I see I have a little hole here and a hole here and maybe even a little hole up there. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of ink there. Just a drop of alcohol, not much. And just kind of let that. And then I'm going to do the same over here. Okay. All right, we are done with this gorgeous, gorgeous alcohol ink landscape. Oh, I'm so proud of it. Let me show it to you. It's just still drying. And if you're still playing around with yours, don't worry. Like I said, pause yours or pause this and then keep working. But I'm gonna use my straws pointer here. As you can see, we have this beautiful sky. It's just has a lot of depth to it. Some darker blue and some lighter blue down here. And then we have this kind of grassy knoll, and then maybe this bunch or hill or trees. I don't know what you want to call it. Remember, this is abstract art. Doesn't have to be perfect. In front of it, kind of creating some perspective there. What a wonderful piece, and I guarantee you this would look beautiful in a frame. It really would. And then you can tell people you made it. If you want to frame it, make sure it's completely dry. This will take about 24 hours to really cure up. If you really are interested in framing your work and making it preserved, like preserving your work, you can buy some spray paint that is of UV protectant at any kind of craft store, and that will cause your ink to cure and not to fade in UV light, okay? If you're ever interested in giving this as a gift or doing more of these, okay? So that is it. This is our alcohol ink our alcohol ink landscape. I'm so thankful that you joined me here today. It's just an honor and a privilege to share this creative process with you, and I cannot wait to see your landscapes. Will you please, please, please post them and tag me? This is the hardest part about teaching online. I don't get to see what you're doing. I love, it brings me so much joy to see your creations. So please post those on Instagram or Facebook, tag me so I can see them and just enjoy them with you. Whenever I'm teaching in person, you know, I get to see everybody in the process, and so this is new to me, and it's a part that I miss. I really miss seeing your work. So please share that with me. I would love to see it. Okay, thank you, and join us for our next tutorial, okay?